Welcome back to Old Hollywood Briar. I used to have a friend whose father was a colonel in the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War. He was a ranger himself and had narrowly missed deployment during Desert Storm. One night, late into our barbecue, he leaned in close and said, "You know, my father has killed more than 10,000 people. When we were growing up, in order to be allowed to speak at his dinner table, we had to memorize his favorite poems and writers." He cleared his throat and said, "We are the hollow men. We are the stuffed men. Leaning together, headpiece filled with straw. Alas, our dried voices, when we whisper together, are quiet and meaningless as wind in dry grass, or rats' feet over broken glass in our dry cellar. Shape without form, shade without color, paralyzed force, gesture without motion. Those who have crossed with direct eyes to death's other kingdom, remember us, if at all, not as lost violent souls, but only as the hollow men, the stuffed men."
I am drawn to the blood, the flight of a one-winged dove. How did this happen? How did this happen?
Eyes I dare not meet in dreams. In death's dream kingdom, these do not appear. There the eyes are sunlight on a broken column. There is a tree swinging, and voices are in the wind singing, more distant and more solemn than a fading star. Let me be no nearer death's dream kingdom. Let me also wear such deliberate disguises. A rat's coat, crow's skin, the crossed staves in a field, behaving as the wind behaves, no nearer, not that final meeting in the Twilight Kingdom.
I am drawn to the blood, the flight of a one-winged dove. How did this happen? How did this happen?
This is the dead land. This is Cactus Land. Here the stone images are raised. Here they receive the supplication of a dead man's hand under the twinkle of a fading star. It is like this in death's other kingdom, walking alone at the hour when we were trembling with tenderness, lips that would kiss form prayers to broken stone.
I am drawn to the blood, the flight of a one-winged dove. How did this happen? How did this happen?
The eyes are not here. There are no eyes here. In this valley of dying stars, in this hollow valley, this broken jaw of our lost kingdoms, in this last of meeting places, we grope together and avoid speech, gathered on this beach of this timid river, sightless unless the eyes reappear as the perpetual star, multifoliate rose of death's twilight kingdom, the hope only of empty men.
I am drawn to the blood, flight of a one-winged dove. How did this happen? How did this happen?
Here we go round the prickly pear, prickly pear, prickly pear. Here we go round the prickly pear at 5 o'clock in the morning. Between the idea and the reality, between the motion and the act falls the shadow, for thine is the kingdom. Between the conception and the creation, between the emotion and the response falls the shadow. Life is very long. Between the desire and the spasm, between the potency and the existence, between the essence and the descent falls the shadow. For thine is the kingdom, for thine is, life is, for thine is the. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. He recited the entire poem. When he finished, I looked down at my drink. Your father killed 10,000 men? Damn.
I am drawn to the blood, the flight of a one-winged dove. Head of a rabbit, head of a rabbit. For my prayer has always been love. What did I do to deserve this?
Speaking of killing 10,000 men, how's your coronavirus shopping coming? I know. You've all got 500 rolls of toilet paper. I was sitting in my car the other day, and I watched a gentleman walk up to his Isuzu truck. It's like a small U-Haul truck, what you would call in England a lorry. And he had about, I'm not joking when I say, at least 200 rolls of toilet paper that he put into the cab of the truck. Another guy came up and asked him, hey, where'd you get that toilet paper? And they had like a conversation about it. I don't know. Be a man. Use your hand. Remember when you said that when we were kids? Just as a joke. If you've ever been to India, they take that shit seriously. It's weird. If you're going to a train car, there's a hole in the ground that goes down to the bottom of the tracks. A little metal cup chained to the wall next to a spigot. Be a man. Use your hand. Good times. But in all seriousness, it's a scary time right now with this whole virus thing going on. Now, I've been thinking they've pretty much canceled every single event that would be worth covering. So I might as well head out of town, maybe try to stop at Arches National Park again, somewhere in the desert. Maybe do a little self-quarantine and then make my way to Utah. Hang out with some family over there. You remember that town we were in, right? For Christmas, that chalet in Eden, Utah. Let's go back there for a moment and get a review we never took a look at. movie magic, and we're back out on the river, ready to open up this can of Smoker's Haven Select Mixture. This is a really great version of this mixture. So you remember, these are all kind of variations on the Balkan Sobrani, so they're all just kind of playing jazz here. But as you're delving into the Smoker's Haven line, if you really like Virginias more and you're not a huge fan of the Latakia and the, that spiciness of the Turkish, you would like Select's mixture. It's more mild. It's supposed to be slower burning and drier smoking. I'm just reading off the thing here. But it says that all this takes place with a piquant, matured Virginia taste. So the Virginias really are what stand out here. And I've been smoking this for a while. It's almost gone now. Now, these blends all smoke a little bit wet to me, but I really enjoy the flavor, so I don't mind smoking them a bit on the wet side to begin with. But this one, having a bit less Turkish, a bit less Latakia, you really get that nice flavor from the J.F. Germain and Sons Virginias, which are really just unparalleled to me in the land of sweet Virginia leaf. I evolved in the packing of this pipe. I use the ball and stuff method now. It's really hard to gauge exactly how much you need in there. You just kind of got to go trial and error, and you get the feel of it eventually. But the ball and stuff method is where you kind of ball it up fairly firm, and then just stuff it in there. You want the bottom to be almost empty. We'll be firing up the Sassini 4. Hurlingham. This is the S model, which is the saddle bit. It's a beautiful rusticated pipe. Using the ST DuPont 007 lighter here, which is totally a fake. At first breath, you get that classic Balkan Sobrani taste. Whatever it is, that flake that they have pressed in there that gives you that, I don't know if it's the Unenji or whatever, it gives you that kind of, I think Jim Meeks describes it as a dry soda note flavor, but it's just got that classic taste. But with the Virginias just turned up to 11, and these Virginias, they're not grassy, hay bready, normal type Virginias. They are just a different experience, nutty, with almost a leathery type taste. It's just a really fantastic blend. It's ended up being one of my favorites of the line, and I kind of have gone from favorite to favorite. I haven't found one that I didn't like. They're all just absolutely amazing, and I think that speaks to the quality of not only the Balkan Sobrani, but also J.F. Germain's stock and what they're using for their blending methods. Man, I swear I could just live in a river. The sound, the audio, the visuals, everything is just so relaxing. Well, I hope that this gave you a little bit of break from the stress of preparing for the spread of this virus. Are you worried about dying? Some say that if you're afraid of dying, then you're already dead. But certainly, sometimes fear are healthy and needed for survival. For anybody who's worried about dying, or for anybody who might pass away due to the coming spread of this virus, just remember, every single person that you know is going to walk through that door. And it's not something that you're going to do alone. We're all going with you.
It's like going out the jump door. Hold your breath and just let go, Mike. Don't fight it. Remember all the guys who've done it before you. You'll have plenty of company, Mike. High-class company. Geronimo, Mike.
you realize that you have the most beautiful face? Do you realize we're floating in space? Do you realize that happiness makes you cry? Do you realize that everyone you know someday will die? And instead of saying all of your goodbyes, let them know you realize that life goes fast. It's hard to make the good things last. You realize the sun doesn't go down. It's just an illusion caused by the world spinning round. Do you that everyone you know someday will die? And instead of saying all of your goodbyes, let them know you realize that life goes fast. It's hard to make the good things last. You realize the sun doesn't go down. It's just an illusion caused by the world spinning round. Do